it's one of those mornings.
It
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. It means whatever you want it to mean. Let me jump into this. Hello. How's everybody doing? Outside of society, I think we're on 146, but the number's going to say 120. That's because a lot of things were deleted because they are absolutely yes. Thank you, Matthew. Because they are absolutely they need to come off. So how are you two doing? Let me preface this before we get into it. Jorn is on his way to the States, so he will not be in here. I don't know about next week either because he would be leaving that day as well. So we will not see him this week, nor will we see him next week. So that does not mean that we're not going to do outside of society. I have some things I want to talk about. Before we get into it, how are you two doing?
Well,
Well,
I'm
woke up this
happy.
morning, so that's good. You?
Every day I wake up's a good day, am I right?
Right. That's a great start. I mean,
It's a start of a great day. And what about you, Spade? How are you doing over there with your microphone settings?
Hey, yay!
Okay. Good. Great. I have
And I was shoveling.
yes. Okay. So I have something I think is going to be fun to talk about because you guys. Now I know what you're going to say. Just hear me out. I have been going down a road of a very center road, a very less traveled road, meaning not right leaning, not left leaning, down the middle. Down the middle, almost merging onto the left side of the road. Almost, but I'm not. I'm staying on the right. Yes? Okay. So my question then. Now that let's not confuse that. That is not saying that I am a liberal, I am a Democrat. I'm very centrist. Very. Can either of you, because you guys both like Trump, right? You're both you both like Trump.
Yeah.
But is Trump a good president?
oh,
That varies. What makes
is it
it?
yes or no?
Let's go one at a time, right? Let's go one at a time. Is Trump a good president? It's a simple question. It is a simple question.
Yes or
Babe,
no?
you want to start first? Because Matthew is.
It's a loaded question, Jay. It's a loaded question because what makes a good president?
Well, I'm asking you. It's not you ask me the question. I'm asking you the question. Is Trump a good president? It's a simple question. It's not a difficult. It's a yes or no question.
If that's the case, then I'm going to say yes.
It's yes or no question. Yes.
I'm going to go with yes. I'm going to go with yes.
And Matthew, would you say yes as well? I mean, you guys both like Trump, right? Is he a good president? It's a simple question.
I'm leaning towards no, but there's an explanation behind that.
Okay, that's great. It's great. Now tell me why he's not a great president. Did I say great or good? I just want to be clear.
Good.
Great.
I said good. I said good, right? It's definitely not great. I will. He's definitely not a great president. Good president. If I had to side with him. Okay, so you say no. Tell me why you don't think he's a good president, even though you do like Trump, and you if you were an American citizen, you would have voted for Trump.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
great.
absolutely.
Okay. So
I don't know if it's is he a good president? For starters, that remains to be seen. Is he something you guys need at the moment?
Wait. Does it though? Does it? I mean, he was the 45th president, right? Does it need to remain to be seen? It's not like this is his first stint.
Right? No. But he's going full on mad cow.
But you could take the average of what he did in 45 and what he's doing in 47 thus far, and kind of average those out, and then come with a conclusion. No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so come to the conclusion of 45th and whatever he's done at 47th. Is he a good president? Do you still stick with the no? Okay, tell me why he is not a good president. You can't because you like him. You just know.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's certain things where sometimes he's too brazen. He should shut his trap. He says things that he shouldn't. That's a repeat from last time. He comes out and says stuff. I can see where some of it might be strategic, but then again, like the Gaza Strip thing, that's dude, what are you doing? I mean, is he a good president? It's not for me to say if he's a good president. Do I like the guy and the way he kind of bulldozes through certain stuff that needs to be done, which other presidents would not do? Yes. I think he's not bad for the country as a whole. Is he a good president? Uh, I don't know. I don't know. You don't need a good president to have somebody that's good for the country, right?
You
Wait,
ask
what?
my opinion because I'll get to mine after you guys. I want to hear both of your opinions. Okay, so you say he's not good. It's either it's good or it's not good, right? We're not saying he's bad. It's either he's
No,
good
no.
or he's not good, right?
No.
We're not saying bad, good or not good. Like he's all
I
right.
don't think he's classical president, like classical good president. What people in history like as a president. I don't think he's that style of president. I don't think he's a good like Kennedy or whatever. Well,
He's
that
not
was
your
a-
typical president. That's what it is.
That
He's
was
not
a-
your typical politician.
no, no.
Right.
But he-
So
Right?
I think he's good. I other than the vaping thing, there's not much that I don't agree with what he's doing.
Okay.
There really isn't.
So you think he's good?
As of now, I think he's good. The whole tariffs thing that he's doing, it's
We're not
we gotta
picking and
wait and see.
choosing. We're not picking and choosing, right? We're saying as a collective, you're static.
happened-
You're going in and out again. You're going. It goes in and it goes out.
Went static.
Yeah, it went static, and then I got nothing. Talk again.
Are we better
I-
now?
Yep, you're good now. Yep.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that I feel like for what he's done so far, he's good.
In 5 and 47.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. In
so-
both.
You're saying he's good.
He's good.
Great.
Compared to what we've
do you
had,
think
yes,
that
he's good.
one thing? Do you think that one thing? This is great because I'm gonna have a field day with you. Do you think that one thing can define one person?
Yes.
Do you think that we should judge that one person for that one thing that they've done for the rest of their life?
Okay. I don't agree with that, but that's what we do.
What do you mean? I'm not asking what people do. I'm asking what, in your opinion.
I would not.
Okay, so if a pedophile touches a child and that pedophile goes to jail, right? Should that pedophile stay in jail for the rest of his life?
For the rest of his life? Sure. Yeah.
Should he be judged for that one action that he did?
Yes.
Okay, so if we're to judge Trump based off of what he did January 6th, off of the one thing that he did or did not do, we could assume that he is a bad president, right?
No,
I'm using
because
your same argument. I'm using the
I
same
understand what you're saying, but
Mhm.
he never got okay. You can't say that because he never got convicted of saying that he did what he did
Did
on
he tell
January
them
6th.
to go home?
He did afterwards. He told them that
How long
to
did it
stand
go
down.
on before he finally stood up and told everybody to go home? How long was
Oh,
it?
it was
How
a couple. It was a couple of hours.
It was a couple of hours, right? It was. It's not something that he could have done immediately. His son texted his chief of staff.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes, he said, "You need to stop this shit right now." 3 hours go by, and then he tells everybody to go home. Did Donald Trump fuck up? Could he have stopped that? It's a simple question.
Could he? Yes.
Did he?
Eventually.
you said yourself that we are to define an individual based off of one action that they did for the rest of their life, right?
Yes.
You said
Yes.
okay. So using that argument with that one thing that he's done for the rest of just that one, we can assume because that was such an extreme level, right? I am not going to say insurrection because I don't think it's an insurrection, but I will say, for lack of better words, I'll call it a riot. That's what I'll call it.
Okay.
And because of what you said at 2:24 p.m. about Mike Pence being a bad individual in the middle of it or at the beginning of it, you are not telling people to stop and go home, right? It took you till 4 o'clock, 4:17 to finally make an announcement, which at that point was a little bit too late. Do you think Trump knew what was happening and knew he was in control of it in the whole time?
Yes. He knew everything that was going on, and he could have controlled it, but
And
I'm pretty sure that,
think that makes him a good president?
I mean, you got to break some eggs to make an omelet, right? So sometimes things happen.
But you're the president of the United States. You're not just some random person. You are representing the United States of America.
and because of that, sometimes it's got to be some time needs to be taken to do a well thought out plan in order to do it correctly without doing it,
Okay.
jumping the gun.
Okay, well,
The one, okay,
well,
how
we're
about
talking
this?
about a riot
The one
at,
time,
at the Capitol, right? We're talking about
Right, right.
Washington, D.C., and senators who we are supposed to protect are now attacking. Right?
correct.
That's
Okay,
what we're
so
talking
here's how I see it. Ready?
Okay.
We normally see Donald Trump just flying off the
Let me
cuff
stop.
like a motor
You
mount.
think that January 6th was a necessary evil?
It was not a necessary
So
evil,
you
but
don't
we're
think that
also making
January
it sound
6th
like
should not
Trump.
have happened?
It was Trump's idea. It was not
January
Trump's
6th
idea.
should not have happened, then, is what your argument is. Or should it have happened? It needed to happen.
Actually, you know what? It needed to happen so people could understand that the people can. No. Okay,
I'm listening.
okay. Let's
Go
okay.
ahead.
Let's
Yeah, no.
let's rewind a little bit.
No. Let's not rewind. Let's continue.
No. I'm going to rewind a little
Let's
bit
not-
to what you
okay.
said before.
All right, sure.
Okay. The reason why he took so long to do something is because he actually sat down and thought about what's going to happen, what the pros and
you're
cons
saying
are,
that
as
you-
opposed to just running his mouth and
So
things
You're
happen.
saying that he knew that was going to happen?
I don't know if he knew that was going to happen, but it was a possibility that it may have happened.
So he was aware of some type of detriment is going to happen today when I get up there and I say what I have to say.
That's
Yeah, I would
bad.
say so.
And you still think that that's a good president?
No.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know about me. Okay. How about this? It would be a good way, a good thing for a leader to do, because you have to also weigh the pros and cons of what you're saying and what you're doing. And if that happened,
Wait. So, what are the pros and cons that he got indicted for stuff and whatever?
You can't
didn't
give me
nothing
one
at
indictments
all?
all happened afterwards.
You would have a hard time finding me one pro out of January 6th. Believe me, I've looked. I've dug. You can't find me one single pro from January 6th. Not one. You know what the problem is with Trump? The problem is with Trump is Trump doesn't like to lose, right? It's not that he wasn't going to
don't think
hand
anybody
over the presidency, right? Because that happened, right? There's other things that could have happened aside from a riot or a protest in order for him to, for lack of better words that I can come up with right now, objectify the results. Okay, there were other things aside from just Mike Pence, right? There are other things. That being said, I think a single action does not define an individual forever. That's contrary to what Spade believes. But I also believe that if you are the president or a head of a state or some type of superior figure, you have now been vetted. Okay, meaning that no matter what you do at this point, every action you do does define you. If you're just some dude on the street, we don't expect you to be perfect. But we expect the president or the head of the state or the prime minister, whatever is in your country, to lead by example. And if your leading by example is allowing that to go on for hours on end, we're not talking about the original meeting. We're not talking about anything else. We're talking about you knew for 3 hours that this was happening. Okay, at minimum, you knew for 3 hours. That means that there are lives that are threatened, whatever the reason is why they died. You knew that they were going to charge into the building. Okay, you knew all of these things. And yet, you did nothing to stop it. Not a motherfucking thing. And you are supposed to be the leader. Do I think that makes him a bad president? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But am I going to allow that to define him? I'm not the one that's sitting up here saying that one action can define a man. That's Spade. Spade, on the other hand, thinks that I'm going to waive that because that's Donald Trump. That is a typical Trump mentality. Is it not?
Yeah, I didn't say you would have to waive it. I never said that. Whoa.
Well, but
I don't even think it's well thought. I don't even
Just
think it's
because
well
you
thought
make
through. Because
say that again, Matthew.
if it would be something that he knew in advance and was well thought through, you would be like, okay, we're gonna let it simmer, and at the point where they're storming the Capitol, that's when I step in and go like, okay,
Absolutely.
guys,
Knock it off.
this
Stop. Get up there. Get off whatever podium you're on. Go up there. Knock it off. Stop this shit right now. Because they're there for you, right? They showed up for you because you told them to go if you don't win, right? In a nutshell, you go. They win.
Yeah, that's how it was understood.
Yeah, because the way I see it is, at that point, you've proven your point. You've proven that people are willing to go
Absolutely.
this far.
Great.
You're proving that you don't need to go through with it necessarily. It's not like it has to take hours on end. Just the intent. And people have seen it. People saw what was going on. People saw them storm it, and then you went like, "Okay, let's."
And then you have a mob mentality, right? You see 5 people do it, 5 people see 10 people do it, 10 people see 30 people do it. Okay, great. Now we just have a conglomerate of people that think that if we storm it, it will change it. No. Matter of fact, it's going to have the exact opposite effect. Be lucky that more people did not pass away that day, right? Be lucky, because
would have been better PR for him as well.
But what did it do? Nothing.
Yep.
It did nothing. Literally. And people think that people will say that is an insurrection. I don't agree with that. People will say that it's a. You're saying, Spade, that it had to happen. Yes? Right?
Yes.
You said, why did it have to happen? Give me
things like that need
why
to happen.
It had to happen. Had to happen.
Okay, so things like this need to happen so people can understand that sometimes the government is not right, or what they're doing is not right. So that means that if you can revolt against the president's, against the choices that were being made, that in the future.
But you're not.
Huh?
You're not. You're revolting against what one man is saying.
You're revolting against what one man is saying.
You're there because of Donald Trump. You're not there because of the law. Right? Let's be clear.
Right. And the idea was that what they were saying back then was that the fact that, the numbers were skewed and there was cheating involved and blah, blah, blah. That's why that happened.
But it
didn't happen because
for that,
Trump said, hey guys, let's just go storm the Capitol.
Well, he kind of did say that.
But what was the reasoning for it?
It doesn't matter what the reasoning is.
There's
right?
always, no, it does matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Not when you're the president of the fucking United States. It doesn't matter. It
But
matters if someone comes into my house and I end up killing them because of self-defense. Of course that matters versus me killing some person randomly in the street. Of course that matters. But if you're the president of the United States and say we are not going to approve this, we do not like this, let's show up to January 6th, I think there's a far stretch of a difference because there is a due process if that is inaccurate, right? Like there is. Are you aware of this or no?
yeah.
Okay, so there is a process. The process of doing a protest, which, keep in mind, you don't like as a Republican and Donald Trump. You don't like riots. You don't like protests. But when they're there for you, of course you like it. It's justified then because this is wrong. You're the fucking president of the United States. Change it. Fix it. Lead by example. That is not leading by example. That is leading a mob into fucking.
And you have to admit, Spade, he's still sore about that loss. Still.
Of course he is.
He's
Of
still
course he is,
butthurt.
'cause in his mind, he still believes that he won it.
Which is ridiculous.
Let's be
Which is absolutely ridiculous. Anybody that says that the election is okay, you can't say the election is stolen. You can't. Okay, we're not on that. We're on the January 6th, whether Trump is a good or great president, just not okay or bad, right? So, okay, so you're saying that January 6th had to happen because what? It shows that people care?
Yes. They're not sheep. They're not just sitting down and waiting for people to tell them what to do or what to hear or anything.
Okay. And
They're sheep in wait, hold on. They're sheep in the other way where somebody told them, hey, go do this, and they went and did it. So it's a pick and choose. I don't agree with what Biden was doing, but I agree with what Trump is, so I will side with that. That's how their mentality was.
So when black people riot in the street over Black Lives Matter, is that okay?
Ah.
No,
I'm coming fully loaded today.
Listen, riots.
I've been doing a lot of research.
I'm not saying that riots are good.
Uh-huh.
I never said that. I said sometimes things like that need to happen. First of all, the riot wasn't even supposed to happen that way, right? January 6th was just supposed to be, just walking up and being like,
what it's supposed to be.
It turned into a riot.
What something is supposed to be does not matter. What happens is what does. Right, the definition of that.
And the riots start off as because all riots start off as peaceful protests.
Question then? Can you answer my question?
Right.
So
okay, go ahead. What's the
someone
question?
is doing a riot for BLM for the rights of Black Lives Matter. Is that okay?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. If someone is doing a riot for transgender in sports, is that okay?
Sure, why not? They have the right to
no
say
matter
what they
no
want
matter
to do, right?
what the repercussions of said riot is.
No, listen, you chose to do the riot. Those are the repercussions that you chose to get.
We're not talking about a protest. I'm specifically saying the word riot here. A riot.
I said riot too.
Okay,
Yes.
because riot, people die.
Right.
Okay, so you're saying it's okay for people to die when the president.
You chose to do that. I didn't force.
Who chose to do that?
You chose to be in the riot. You chose to do that. You should know what whoever was part of it.
And you don't think that the president of the United States is responsible for said riot?
Okay, Jay, let's flip it on the other side. If
Sure.
the president declares war and you're in the army, you have no choice but to go, right?
That's different. I signed up for that.
Okay, and these people signed up for a peaceful protest that ended up into a riot. So what difference does it make?
I don't know how you're correlating the two because one, I am protecting the freedom of the United States. Me going to January 6th because one man does not agree with the election results and then storming a building. If I went there,
no, you're wrong.
Well,
It's not just one
can
man.
I answer your question? It's
not one man though.
I can't answer your question. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so if I'm in the military and I sign up to do that, I'm doing that for a different reason. I don't give a shit who the president is. I just care about the rights of what America has as a whole, as a collective on a global effort. If I'm doing that, I'm doing that, one, as a job. Two, because of whatever reason. And three, I'm willing to take whatever responsibilities that when I signed up to go over there is going to happen. Now, if I elect to go to, let's say, this Capitol meeting with Donald Trump, I am knowing how Trump is, like most people that love Trump know how he is. He's very extreme. I know that this is not going to be just sit around for 3 hours and he's just going to chat. People are going to get riled up. People are going to get pumped up, and things are going to happen. Okay,
Right.
You can look at any rally. You can look at any of those. You see how they all turn out. Now he is saying that he does not agree with what that is, and there are people outside, however many of them, that are willing to do something. That is a far stretch. There's a big difference between me being in the military and going to war versus you going to war with the country that you're standing the footage on. That's like a civil war. That's what that is. I think there's a big difference. Civil war can't happen in the United States anyway with American soldiers. It can't. That's martial law. I mean, big difference.
Not anymore.
I don't see the correlation between the two.
Well, that's the thing, though. You said it yourself, right? You listened to what that person said. You agreed with what that person said. So you knowing that you go to a peaceful protest that might turn into a riot.
No. I never said it's going to be a peaceful protest. No. I made it clear that most people that are MAGA or pro-Trump, I'm not going to say that they're not peaceful, but Republicans are violent, typically speaking. Typically speaking, if you look at liberals and you look at Republicans, far right is usually much more violent. Hitler, I mean, they're much more violent in history than what they are on the left. Can you debate that? Can we agree on that?
I agree 100% with you on that.
Okay, good. All right, so if you have a bunch of people out there, like when Kamala Harris didn't get it, right? She went out there to that college. You didn't see anybody flipping cars over, did you? What happened when Hillary Clinton lost? Everybody was crying, right? Bunch of baby back bitches crying. Nobody went home like, okay, you know what? Next time, it's all right. No, everybody was emotional. You don't see that. What you see that is on the right side. What you see is Donald Trump saying, come on over to Washington, D.C. Let's figure some things out. You have to know in your head some shit's about to pop off, right?
Exactly.
Okay, you are the president of the United States. You're supposed to be a leader. You think that's good leading?
I didn't say it was good leading. It's leading.
Well, you said he's a good president. And he's a leader.
Yes.
So I think those two things go hand in hand.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. But at the same time, though, okay.
Spade, it's not even.
No.
Okay. Let's go another route. So you think it's okay that you didn't stop it because it's not just he instigated it or he didn't instigate it or people knew it was going to happen or didn't know it was going to happen. Never mind that. He didn't
knew this
stop
was
it.
going to happen.
That's right. He didn't stop it. That's the thing. That's that right there.
I agree.
It does not matter why they showed up. Doesn't matter. All that investigative shit doesn't mean anything, right? Okay, sure, they showed up. Okay, they were pissed off. Okay, whatever you said, whatever. Even if he said storm the Capitol, go in, go. Even if he said all that, now the second that they get in there, stop right here. That's it. We're done. Okay, I was bluffing. He did the same thing with the fucking tariffs, right? So clearly you could just come in willy-nilly later on and say, you know what, forget it. I didn't mean that. Stop it. And you know damn well if Trump got up there and literally on the stairs, right, and said, knock this shit off, everybody stopped. Everybody stop it. Ain't nobody going to charge Trump.
You would have proven your point by
That's
that.
it.
They wouldn't have to set a foot inside.
Just see at the door.
Absolutely.
That would have been public opinion, would have been, I think, better for him because people would have been like,
agree that his last 3 months as his presidency was his downfall, yes? From November to January with Twitter, the election, you know,
Corona.
No matter what you look at, every part of that, you would have won if you just shut the fuck up. Like, if you just sit down and I don't know, do something, you would have won.
Could have done nothing. He would have, if he had done nothing in those situations. Forget about January 6th, but all the previous situations, if he had done nothing, he still would have won.
Agree.
No more Twitter. No more none. Even today, he shouldn't be on Twitter. The president, in my opinion, now forget about Trump. Any president should not be on social media. The only way a president should say something is through going through the channels and having a press conference, and that's it. No, while I'm in the toilet, I'm going to text and say, I'm going to tweet and say something else. No, they shouldn't do that.
I do not agree. I think it is a good thing that presidents, especially at this day and age, that are on social media. Let's be clear that Trump was not the first politician on social media. He's just the one that made it big, right?
Right.
Well,
Barack did the same thing. He was
always
on.
They've all been on it. Even George Bush, right? They've all done some type of social media. It's just that social media at this day and age is your modern news. Okay, so and you're taking it directly from the horse's mouth. And the problem is that just makes you look worse, right? Because now you've seen the Kamala Harris thing that was edited to all shit, right? You get on Twitter and you make whatever comment that now is tethered to you for the rest of your life. I don't care if you put it. You hit send and then you delete it. Someone already got that. Like it's already done. So just leave it up. Don't take it down. And now you admit guilt. That's the admission.
And that's why I say no social media for them. It shouldn't be.
Or be a better person and you could do social media, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you could go with that. Okay.
I mean, you don't see Biden posting on social media. Couldn't find a toilet this morning.
He doesn't know what Twitter is.
I couldn't find a toilet this morning, so I shat in the sheets. Right? Couldn't find it. You don't see that. You don't see that because that's what
hired help is for, to clean them up.
But the point is that he could have not posted that. He could have said, you know what? I don't like this shit. He could have done everything that he did. With the exception of the January 6th, they say, argumentatively, now I do not agree with this statement. They say that January 6th is equivalent, if not just as bad as 9/11.
Whoa. No,
some big people say this. Ben Shapiro say this. Here's my
He's
problem.
Crazy.
Okay, here's my problem. I was at 9/11. A lot of people died. I don't understand how they could even be on the same page. It doesn't correlate. No, I don't see that at all. I'm sorry.
The aftermath of 9/11 or the 6th, that's a bit different.
Even if it's not the aftermath, even if it's the initial, right? When you're talking about a different country attacking us versus something. Right. I guess you could say the argument of an internal argument probably looks worse than an external source. I get that. That kind of makes sense because you're saying we don't agree with each other with the January 6th thing. But I'm just factoring in the sheer death numbers alone. What is it? 5 versus 500? Or I don't honestly I don't know the numbers of how many people died on 9/11. I don't know. A lot. I can tell you that. A lot more than January 6th. But that's not on a president, right? 9/11. It has nothing to do with the president. January 6th does. That's all I'm saying.
Tinfoil hat theories? If we're doing the tinfoil hat theories, then yes.
I'm not doing the tinfoil hat theory. I'm doing factual, like things that happen. 9/11, January 6th, they happen. It's not tinfoil hat.
It's not. They're not the same. Anyone who says that they're the same
is blind and they're on the same level. Same level.
They're not even on the same level. No, one was a terrorist attack. Sure, you could say both of them were attacks. That's as far as it goes.
And that's the
similarity. That's it. Other than that, no.
One could have been controlled, the other one couldn't. Let's try that.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you concede? Or you still want to argue that Trump is still a good president? You still think he's good?
Well, look, I do believe that he's a good president. But going back what I said, that one thing is going to define you.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes him a bad president. But who's to say that he doesn't do another act and it defines him, making him a good president again?
Doesn't matter.
So it varies.
That doesn't matter because what you said earlier is that one act can define a man.
Right.
Right. You said that. right? It's either you got to take that back or you got to run with that. Are we running with that?
I said I'm running with it.
Okay, so if we're running with that, it doesn't matter what happens afterwards because that one act defines you. It doesn't
Right,
matter
but
that
if
another
you-
act comes up and it's just as good or if not better than anything you've done before. That one act that he did define him. We shall hold him accountable with it for that forever. There is nothing positive that came out of January 6th. Not a fucking thing. Therefore, it did not have to be done. If something positive came out of that, okay, you have an argument. But nothing did. Nothing. No, you had a meeting of people. That's positive, I guess. I'll try to help you, but I don't see anything positive out of that.
I don't know if it's positive, but it goes to show you that even the United States can have revolts against things that are done within that country. Because you see that from other countries saying, just think of any other leader that just rose to power, right? Out of nowhere.
Okay,
They had people that followed them.
I'm not
See, but it doesn't look like a revolt, Spade. It looks like
Yeah, because it looked
like vandalism.
A real, true revolt. Yes, I agree.
Okay,
still something,
right? But we are to hold that person responsible for what they've done. So that means that if you are the 45th and the 49th president, either way, we still have to remember what you did.
Right.
Right? Has Trump ever asked for forgiveness?
Did he ask for forgiveness?
Yes.
For what?
It's simple. For January 6th.
Or did he apologize for it, you mean?
Either or.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So you think what? Not you think. So is it safe to assume that Trump doesn't think he did anything wrong?
Oh, 100% he doesn't think. 100% he doesn't think that he did.
But we both can agree that that is wrong, right?
Yes.
So I ask again: do you think Trump is a good president? He's not even listening to the people that are. I mean, he's clearly not even listening to us, like anybody.
Again, if I'm
he's not even listening to people about the tariffs, right? Like he's just saying shit off the top of his head and just seeing what sticks to the wall, right? The idea of throw a bunch of spaghetti to the wall, see what sticks, and then we're gonna run with that one right there. That's what we're gonna do.
That's it.
And you think that's good?
The bottom.
So you have no business plan. You're just essentially jumping into things, right? I just want to make sure I understand this. So you think if I have $1 million and I'm like, ooh, let me just go to America and see what happens. No business plan, nothing. You think that's a good idea just to have no? And you are the president of the United States. We have to be clear here. Right? You're a person that makes executive decisions that essentially the whole world piggybacks off of. You don't think that that's a bad idea to not listen to what people say or to have a plan that actually works and not just throw shit against the wall and see what happens to stick?
Well, we don't know what his plan is. Oh, actually, we do know his plan. His plan.
Well, we know what he says, right? We can.
Right.
We can't not acknowledge the things that he says on national TV, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he says he's going to do taxes. He's going to do this. And he doesn't think, I don't know what Trump thinks, honestly. I don't think even Trump knows what he's thinking. He just says it. But do you think that Trump is aware that January 6th was a fuck up and he wishes that he didn't do that?
I don't think any of that. I think he doesn't.
So,
he doesn't
he's not
think
even
it's
a good man then.
I just think he's in his narcissistic brain. He's thinking that what I did was the right thing, and that's
so would
that.
you say that Donald Trump is a good man?
That's his opinion.
Do you think he's a good man? I know you think he's a good president. Do you think he's a good man?
Oh no, he's not a good. He's not a good man.
Okay.
Oh no,
so
no.
At least agree on that, right? Like that's not.
Yeah, no. He's not a good man.
Okay, got it.
But you have to also think somebody who has done all these things in his life will never be a good man.
Okay, but that I don't think that action by itself could define a good president, right? Like I think you could be a piece of shit person, but you could run. I'll agree with that. I'll agree. But I just don't think he's a good president. You know, I'm not just basing it off of January 6th, and I also don't think that one action defines a man for the rest of their life. I think that's a bit of a far stretch.
maybe one major action.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. One action. That's a pretty major one. That's a pretty big one. But you can't just ignore them. What do you think he would have done if he lost this one?
Honestly, I'm going to be honest with you.
You don't think he's capable of making that happening again?
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. If he had lost, I thought it was going to be January 6th all over again, times 10. I thought it would be a lot worse.
Okay, and that's okay, right? Because you said earlier that had to happen January 6th. So if it had to happen again, that's okay.
No.
So happened one
January.
time.
No. January 6th started off as something else that turned into something else.
Well, I made it very
if he
clear.
had lost the second time, we all know that it would have never been peaceful. It would have went straight into a riot.
Okay, but I made it clear that January 6th, was it a good or a bad thing? Did it have to happen? Did it have to happen? You said yes. So if that was
I
to happen
think sometimes things need to happen like that.
Like that.
People need to wake up. Yes. Things like that sometimes need
There
to
was
happen.
nothing productive that came out of January 6th.
Nothing was learned out of that.
Yeah, I agree because it was done wrong.
Do you think people have to fall downstairs to know that you should probably watch where you walk?
Well, if that's the case, Jay, then we need to take off every
serious.
warning. I'm being serious too. Okay. If I'm looking at a bottle that has poison in it, I shouldn't have to see a warning label that says don't drink it.
What about a
What about a what?
A safety cup.
A safety cup?
A safety cap. A safety cap on a poison bottle.
Oh, a safety cap. Again, that's because they're assuming that a 2-year-old is going to open it up.
Using your analogy, should a safety cap be on a poison bottle?
No, it shouldn't.
It
Natural selection. Whoever drinks it should, that's you fucked up. That's it.
Okay.
Bye.
So no preventative measures. It's just poison in the bottle.
No. That's it.
Anarchy.
That's it. No, it's not anarchy. It's.
So should we stop checking our tire pressure in our tires and just hope that for the best that they're correct? Because we filled them up at that time. So we shouldn't.
No, see, that's different.
Why is that different?
Because you can't. No, that's two totally different things.
Okay, let me give you a different analogy that's not different. How about a 4-cylinder car, right? You put the oil in. Okay. Essentially, it should never leak oil, right?
No, because you're told you have to, change your oil and check for leaks and everything like that. You're told to do that. There's a difference.
You're told? Well,
you're told not to eat poison, to drink poison.
You're told not to riot. Okay. You're told not to riot.
Well, yeah, that's where I was going. So, but even if I think we know as Republicans, right? We attest. We have so much disdain for riots, right? Chad and taking over shit. Like we are against that, right? That's
right.
Okay, but then you do it. So how does that make you look? But my argument was with the poison or the tires that there's no preventative control, right? So if he knew what was going to happen or what could happen, because we'll assume that Donald Trump is somewhat of an intelligent man, he could have took preventative measures to make sure that did not happen. Yes?
I agree.
He could have.
Yes.
Matter of fact, forget preventative measures. He could have, if he was smart enough, he wouldn't even type the tweet. Yes, he would have just been like, I lost. It's over. Okay, I'll try again in 4 years. But he didn't do that. Yeah. So there was zero preventative measures. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, if you think that it had to happen, I think that's absolutely ludicrous. We're not talking about wars. We're not talking about there's usually a goal in sight. The goal he had did not happen. It didn't. He doesn't. No, he still to this day does not accept that he lost.
He made things worse. He shot himself in the foot with not stopping that thing.
Yeah, he did. And people went to jail over that. Are those people responsible for what they did? Yes. Yes.
They're the ones that did
Should they have went to jail?
Yes. Yes, you
I
chose
don't
to
know.
be there to do that
You
thing.
can't say yes because you say it had to happen because it was right.
Just
Why would you
because
want to
I
go
said
to
it
jail?
doesn't. Wait, hold on. Just
Wait.
because I said it had to happen doesn't necessarily mean that
If you're
that the
saying
person who
something
did
had
something
to
is
happen,
right or
that
wrong.
means that is the right reason to do it, right?
Not necessarily.
Wait,
Because you see it differently. That's the matter of opinions at this point. You see it differently than I do. I think it was a thing that needed to be done or should have been done, but it should have been done better.
Why? Why did it need to be done?
Because everyone okay, so the US is, if you really think about it and you really look at it, everyone just agrees for the most part of what the government says and does and everything like that without questioning anything. So, and then there's always the thought that, you know, we have people. The Second Amendment was made for what reason? In case this government does what, right?
No reason.
Huh?
That's not the only reason for the Second Amendment.
What's one of the reasons to bear arms? What is one of the reasons?
Your argument. This is am I helping you defend your argument, or am I letting you go? Then I'll say my point. I'm not going to help you.
I'm asking you a question,
the Second
Jay.
Amendment is not because of to overthrow the government.
Okay,
it was to protect
because
I
to
like
protect yourself.
Putting that little piece in there, and then that just makes up the Second Amendment. That's not it.
It's to protect yourself, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you feel like the government is doing something against you, you should protect yourself, right?
No. Okay. We went from a riot to now.
Now we're doing anarchy war. Yes. Now we're going into a civil war.
Wow. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Get to your point. For sake of argument, sure, I'll agree with you. Go ahead. I want to hear where this is going.
Okay. So things like that need to happen because you need to show the government that you're not just going to sit there willy-nilly and just go with what they're saying and what they're doing.
But
so sometimes things like that need to happen. Just like the riots happened in California in the 90s with the LAPD. What happened? LAPD changed their way of doing things.
I like
right?
Random events in places and just justifying
other. I'm giving you examples, though. I'm giving you examples.
But there's other ways. There's other ways to do.
I agree. There's other ways, but things happen that way. So
a lot of them. That should be the very, very, very last resort. If you tried everything else and then, okay, yeah.
I'll agree with that, but I don't even think that should be an option, right? Like I don't think. But I want to go back to what you said, Spade. Maddie, I'm sorry you're not included more in this. I mean, you have a certain set of opinions, but if your argument is, I don't want to talk about Second Amendment. I want to talk about the. Hold on 1 second. Let's go now. See what we'll call carry them. If I warranty and not only. Let's get the fan. Call. So if I'm sorry, you were saying that the things need to happen, and therefore it made it okay, and somehow dragged the Second Amendment rights in it. And I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. I'm getting text messages about my AC unit, so I don't know. But what was I going to say? Damn it. Your microphone is messed up again. I totally forgot what I was going to say. So you're saying, so you're standing by the fact that the January 6th still had to happen. Still, he is a good president, regardless of what the results are. People have to protest or riot in order to get the point across, which in fact, you got no point across at all.
Protesting,
right? Like nothing came out of that. Can we agree on that?
Nothing came out of it. Yes.
Okay. So it didn't have to happen because there's no result.
There's no real result. Yes.
Okay. So it didn't have to happen then. right? Because if it had to happen, you would have a point to prove.
Right,
Yes?
but the point was not proven because it was done wrong.
Okay.
Wait, but what?
So it didn't
You,
have
you
to
just
happen.
said it needed to happen,
No,
so
you
it's
just
right.
said it needed to happen. So wait, now you're saying
It
it
needed
was
to
done.
happen, but it was done wrong. So what did I say wrong?
So then that didn't need to happen then.
if it was done correctly, then yes, it was perfect.
Oh, fish stick.
Wait, hold on. Wait, now you're backtracking. You're saying that it had to happen, but it was done wrong.
Yes.
So
It
didn't have to
scaled out of
happen then.
proportion.
So
Just because something went right or wrong doesn't mean it doesn't not need to happen.
well, the idea of something needing to happen is so you learn from it, right?
Right? And
What did
people
you
did
learn
learn
from
something.
that? What did you learn from that?
I learned that there are people that can revolt against the government or against anything that they wanted to do.
But you didn't get
Prove a
anything
point.
out of it.
Correct.
The laws
Just
had
because you
not
got nothing
changed.
out of it doesn't mean that you didn't learn something out of it.
No, instead you just made your whole party look bad.
Correct.
And a
So you
negative
did
outcome,
something.
not a
You made
positive
it.
one.
You
Abe.
made something that was supposed to be good. You turned it into
Do you
something
hear-
bad.
Do you hear your responses, bro? Do you hear
Yes.
them, Spain? Okay. All right.
Yes.
Because I don't know if your microphone is not giving you back the same information that you're giving me. I get your argument. The reason why they did it is because they wanted to prove a point. Great. But what point did you prove? That you can stand up and say something loudly?
Yes.
That
Is it
doesn't.
not proven?
You don't need to enter a government building.
Right, but you
and
don't need to go
destroy
into a building to do that, right? You could just do that
But then
outside.
that makes the government later on realize that if they could do this in such a small scale on January 6th, imagine if we do fuck up and they come at us in full
wow.
force.
Do you-
Okay.
Wait. Do you really
Wow.
think the government is worried about you and 500 other people that are spray cans and whatever? Do you really think they're really? Okay.
I don't know. You know what? Let's test it out. Let's all go storm the Capitol again.
No,
what happens.
because I'm not stupid. 1, 2, I know that whatever I do, even albeit with 1,000 people or 2,000 people, it's not going to do anything, right? That's not the way you get laws done. Ask the LGBTQ. You don't see them out rioting shit and tipping shit over, blowing shit up to make things happen. Matter of fact, it has the opposite effect, historically speaking. If you commit crimes and do riots, more things are put in place to stop that in the future. So, no, they don't typically address what your demands are. I mean, I think George Bush said it best, Jr., is that we don't negotiate with terrorists, right? So, yeah, I don't see it having any positive effect at all. And if the positive effect is Trump knows that he has people, he doesn't need to do that to know that he has people that follows him. And he could have stopped it at any time. His son even told him to stop it, and he ignored all signs to stop it. Therefore, that makes me believe you're not A, a good person, or B, a good president. But I also don't feel that one action defines a man for the rest of his life. Any action.
You're not going to get a
Info,
revolution
any.
like that either, right?
Say
I think
again?
for a revolution, you kind of need at least 80% of the country that stands behind you. And then that other 20% better not be the military, because then you're also done for.
Yeah, even looking at this from Spades, I cannot find one good thing that came out of that. One, just pick anything. A meeting of people that had negative connotations. They knew what they were getting into when they got there. They knew it was not going to be a peaceful protest. They knew. Okay, they've all been interviewed. Go watch some of the interviews. They all knew. Everybody. So you're going to storm a government building. Okay, I'm old school. You storm a government building and there's somebody in there that's armed, you're not making it through that front door. I'm just saying. I don't know what your intention is, but I suggest you walk out. Again, case in point, I'm sure you saw the video of the dude with the Democrats standing out there. Democrats are like, we want to get in. You saw that with the black lady? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You didn't see them storming that building, did you?
No.
So I
But
ask
they
you
didn't need
again.
to.
Well, you already agreed that the right is typically more violent than the left. You agree with that? I think the right would have just punched him in the face.
Just that's it. Just
I don't know if that's the answer though. Like I don't know.
brute
Look,
force.
I'm not against it. I'm
Brute
just saying
force.
I don't think that that's the answer. I don't. I don't know.
I think we
what
just
the
need to
answer is.
change. It's 2025.
Mm.
Change everything.
Wasn't that Obama's thing? Time for a change. That was his motto.
Yeah, change. That was his thing. Yeah, change.
Time for a change. Yeah. Okay. All right, bro.
Well,
People will argue.
actuality,
People
if
will
you really think
argue.
about it, he did.
And say that Barack Obama was a great president. I have to agree with that on a lot of levels. But a lot of people will argue that and say that he is. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he was better than Trump, but I don't think he was great. But then again, that's just my opinion. I'm not basing it off of statistics. I'm basing it off of how it affected me. So I think that answer.
Okay.
You know,
So you've been around for I'd say at least what 10, 15 presidents, right? Which one was the great one that you thought?
10, 15, okay, 4 years, not that many. 15 presidents, shit. You figure 8 years, right? Typically.
Okay, so 10. Let's just say 10 presidents.
We'll say 8 to 10. Of my cognitive life, the best one out of all of them, for the people or for me?
Uh-huh.
For you.
Biden. Because I'm not in that bracket.
What do you mean?
No, seriously. Because nobody paid attention to what he was doing. So, I mean, if it's for me, he didn't do anything. So, it didn't hurt.
That doesn't mean that he's your favorite president or your great president.
No, you didn't. Wait, you didn't say favorite. You said best. Let's be clear.
Who was your best president? Okay, when someone says best, what do they mean, Jay? Who is the best president you've had?
No, I don't.
You,
I disagree.
you remember?
Best and favorite are not the same thing.
Okay, fine. So pick one. Pick
My
one and tell me
favorite
which
president, George Bush Jr.
Junior.
Yes.
Okay. Had nothing to do with the fact that you were in the army at the time that he was president.
No, it did. And I had to do, I know the whole housing market crash is the fault, and Obama had to pick up the scraps. I get all that. But I think everybody's got a negative. Donald Trump.
Everyone.
With the riot. I think everybody's got something bad.
Of course.
Obama being black. No, that was racist.
Well, that was
well, this
I mean, if the argument is that Donald Trump being a good president, I think right now where it stands is kind of like his last 3 months of his original presidency, right? If I asked you the question and I said to you, Spade, I don't know if you were in here the other day. Spade, can you tell me who the president of 2016 was? Who was the president at that time?
2016?
Yes.
That was Trump.
No, it wasn't.
It was at the end of 2016 was the.
It wasn't Trump. No. It wasn't.
Who
Trump.
was it?
Obama.
Oh, it was the tail end of because the elections were in 2016, so Trump was in 20. Okay,
that's right.
All right.
So a lot of laws passed in 2016. People are like, that's Trump. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with Trump. Trump wasn't even in office yet.
But that's the case with every single president. Every single president. The fact
but that's not the argument. The argument is that people
Right.
will be very quick to say this passed in 2016. That's Trump. No, it's not. It's just not. I understand that people think that
because that's when they're looking at it from the election standpoint.
that's fine, but he wasn't in office.
No, he was not in office. No.
Okay. Right. So if you're looking based off of years in presidency, I would say George Bush Jr. I think he was a great president. I think he cared a lot about the military. And then I would say Clinton after that. And
That was my first choice. I would have said Clinton
think
first.
yeah. Even though Hillary ran it, I still think that Bill Clinton did I don't like a lot of the gun laws he passed, but I think he was a good president overall.
But overall for the country, that was great what he
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's very hard for me to find a lot of negatives. He got his dick sucked. You know, who cares? So did
Big
JFK.
deal.
So did JFK.
Yeah.
JFK got his dick sucked by Marilyn Monroe and plenty of people. And that's okay.
That's it.
So if Bill Clinton wants to get a little BJ underneath the desk, who gives a shit? I don't see how that affects the country.
No, the only thing that affected the
Anything,
country
he's gonna be super relaxed that day. Throw some executive orders on his thing. See what he
That's
signs.
it. That's
You know,
it.
it's
I
just-
think
Yes.
the only thing that Clinton would, if you look at it from presidential standpoint, I think maybe Kosovo was the only thing that was bad that most people didn't agree with when he
Well,
invaded.
I think America getting involved in conflicts.
should not happen. That shouldn't be happening. It should not be happening. We should not be spending our money and our troops overseas to things that don't involve us directly. Our money should not be going to overseas things. Our money should be staying here
You have
to make
to
it
do
good
something.
for our people.
You can't not do anything. You have to do something.
Sure, say something, but don't send your troops there.
Well, Trump says a lot of things, right? And Trump does nothing. So I don't know if saying
See?
something.
It works for him.
No, actually, I think it has the opposite effect. I don't think it works for him because he backtracks. Do you understand how bad that looks? I don't think anybody's paying attention to this, right? Do you understand how bad that looks? You are the president. You are going on TV saying shit is going to happen, and then they don't happen. Do you realize how stupid you look?
Yeah, but why do they not happen? Because now we're in
It
talks
doesn't
to make a
matter.
better
And you
deal.
should have done
It
your.
does
If
matter.
we are to flame somebody on YouTube or to debate somebody on YouTube for something that is their opinion, that is fine. That is your opinion. You are not the leader of the free world, right? When you have that title, you can't. If we go after people on YouTube, TikTok, whatever, you pick the brand platform because of their misinformation. Okay. Oh, that's not right. This is wrong. Trump could go on there and we don't ask him to do any research because we expect that from him, right? When we debate people, hey, do some research, educate yourself a little bit, learn something about this. With
Right.
Trump, he doesn't do that. He's just like, we're going to do this and we're not going to do anything. He made it clear on this channel. I showed that video clip. He made it clear. I am not going to bend on these tariffs. 24 hours later, we put a pause on it. We don't know what we're doing. This motherfucker right here. Yo, you can't do that. But Trump doesn't. And people are okay.
But see, that's the thing though. He's doing his things as if he's running a company where, this person's not listening to what we're
I
doing.
also don't agree with a lot of that. I don't agree
Right.
with a lot of that.
But that's what he's doing.
Over Medicaid and I don't think all that is good either. You have people that are look, you know what it's going to come down to? All the prices in America. Let everybody think that this is all great, man. Everybody's going to think it's all great until your prices all start going up. One of his major things is the prices of things are going to go down. You want to bet that doesn't happen? You want to bet?
I'm still waiting for the eggs to go down.
Yeah, it ain't going to happen. Eggs are up here, by the way. I don't know if you saw the news with South Florida where it's like $26 for a carton of eggs. Yeah, no, that's not. It's the exact opposite of everything you're saying, right? Yeah, you're doing great on immigration. Sweet. I can give a shit about Pablo and Jose Cuervo over in fucking Mexico, right? I don't give a shit about that. You know what I care about? Is someone promises you said about prices and vaping. I don't know when you're going to touch those, but I can tell you this, that those tariffs, you know why they didn't go through? Let me tell you why. Because all those prices would essentially reflect onto the consumer. The consumers are not stupid, right? The same argument that we use for Biden, Biden inflation, all these prices are going up. They're going to do the same shit with Trump. The good thing is that in 4 years, Trump can't be like, I did this, because Trump is out. So it doesn't matter what happens under him. We're just
Unless
hoping.
Vance wins and says, hey, under me being VP, we were able to do this.
No, but Trump likes to brag. Well, all of them like to brag about what they've done while they were president. Oh, we've done this, we've done that, we've done this. And you know what? He could say that he has done the best immigrant. I don't know about that. He could say that he's done a really good job on fixing immigration of the last three. But keep in mind that Biden was left with what Trump did. You understand? Now, Trump now has to fix what Biden did. You have to understand, right? That now if it was Trump back to back, yeah, well,
We would have had a different outcome.
right,
It could
sure.
have been worse, or it
Sure.
could be bad. We don't
You
know.
probably would have not had those inflations of the eggs, of the gas, of all that shit.
Well,
If
the
Trump-
eggs is also because of the bird flu. Let's not forget about that.
Well,
There's a
regardless,
bird.
I mean, if the eggs are just one small drop in the bucket, we're not talking about just eggs. We're talking about clothes. We're talking about import,
right.
e-bikes. It doesn't matter. You can pick anything out of it. All the prices are going up, all of them. You know, and none of these countries like. Bro, Trump came in.
Everything
office, and the
started to
first
go
thing
up.
If his goal again, don't anybody watch this and misconstrue and be like, Jed is not like Trump. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just saying that he is the president of the country that I live in. Bless you. And I think that him coming in, naming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, which people don't even know if you could do that, right? Like nobody knows. We just going for it, see what happens. You know, just spaghetti at the wall. But it should not have been your priority one, right? Like it's. I'm just saying, do that at your last year or third year or some shit. It's not like that really matters. Like what? Why does that matter? Because you could say in
matters
history, Donald Trump renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, which sounds, no offense, fucking stupid. Okay.
But he should buy Greenland, though. He should buy Greenland.
Why?
Why not?
Oh, you're going to get me started. You think it's okay for us to just go buy countries that are already sovereign?
Listen, if they're selling them, why not?
They're not
What's the
selling
problem?
them, though.
But if they were, why not? If he says, if
but
Greenland
they're
says,
not,
yeah, we'll
though.
be U.S. citizens.
So so just take over Canada, just make that another state?
Why not? Why not? You would have to split Canada. That'd
And
be a
you
big
wonder
state.
why people look at Americans as arrogant and ignorant. And you wonder, right? Did you just
I don't
hear
wonder,
what
I
you just
know.
said? So just take
I-
over all this shit.
Take it all over. Take it. Make it all into one. Then we don't have to worry about anybody jumping the border because it's our border.
So just take Mexico, make all those immigrants now Americans.
That's it. That's it.
I don't think Mexico was ever on the table for Trump to buy. I don't think he mentioned that anywhere. I could be wrong.
But he should. He should.
Well, I don't know about that's a lot of people because if you say you have a problem now with Mexicans, you will have real big problems when you adopt the whole country.
Oh, yeah.
Like
It's always a good idea to take in a country in some form of. So look at
Absolutely.
the UN, United Nations, United Europe. We added countries that were not on the same level as we were, that were
And how'd that
lower
work
than.
out?
And what happened?
what
Everything went.
Exactly. How'd that work out? Not good. Not good.
Nope, because you're pumping money in those countries, but because you're trying to get them to the same, or you're sinking down. If it's positive in for you, like wages and stuff, they're not gonna pull them up to your to where you are. They're gonna pull you down and pull them up a bit.
So for anybody that's in question, just Spade's being serious. He's being funny, but he's being serious. Like that's what Spade is. Like he's being funny, but he does mean it. And I get his point. It's just I don't know if we should just go around
Just take everything over. Just call it the United States of the continent or something. The whole continent.
It's
everything.
not. It's just North United States of America. It's just not even.
Yes,
North America
yes,
anymore.
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah, but just okay. Sure. Take it all. That's a lot of
Take it
people,
all.
by the way. There's a lot of people in Mexico. Like you,
But think of all the tax money we get.
they
They
don't even want to pay
we can
taxes when they
afford
come
to
here.
give
Whoa,
India
whoa, whoa!
trans-
They don't even want to
trans-
pay taxes when they come here. You think that they're going to want to pay taxes if we take it over?
You know why? They can't pay taxes because they're here illegally. And I
No,
guarantee
no, no, no,
you,
no, no. No, wait,
Hold on.
Spade.
If you
Why do you
told
think
somebody
they want to come to your
illegally-
country
Hold on.
in the first
If
place?
you told
Because
somebody
it's
here
shit where they
legally,
are.
what?
They
They
want
don't
to
make
come
any
to
money
the
over
States
there,
because
first of
it's shit
Second of
where
all,
they are.
yes, they don't. There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
No.
They
So
live
how
over
is that
nothing.
going to make you any money for the States? None. It's going to
Of
cost
course,
you
it's
money.
going to
Oh,
make
it's going
money.
to cost a lot. It's going to
It's
cost
going to make you a lot of money. What are you talking
Do you know
about?
how many
There's
not.
new
so
maps
much
you have
land
to make?
over there.
Do you
We
know?
could be the number one producer of vegetables and fruits. Are you
Do you
kidding
know
me?
how? Do you know how much money would cost us to remake maps? Just maps. Like you're just.
No one cares about the maps, Jay.
Well, I do.
It's not
Well,
that
apparently, hold on now. Apparently, Trump does care about maps. He's trying to rename Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. So clearly, somebody cares about maps, right?
And Google said, sure, on the U.S. side, it'll say
Does it
Gulf of
actually say
America.
Gulf of America on the Google map? Does it? I have
Not yet. At least I don't think so. Not yet.
No fucking
Not
reason
yet.
that quick.
But
Okay.
look, but to go back to the immigration and the tax thing, I guarantee you that if you told every illegal person here, I will make you a U.S. citizen, you have to pay taxes, they're going to say yes.
No. And you think we
But
should just let all of those in? Those people
Dude,
that
your
all
vision
say
is
yes.
this-
You
your
think that we
vision
should
is
just let them
skewed.
in? If they want
Yeah,
to
why
pay
not?
taxes,
They're paying taxes, right?
just pay taxes.
They're
That's
paying
all that you
taxes.
care about. It's them paying taxes.
Because that's what the U.S. cares about.
No, no.
But
I'm
that's
asking
a big difference,
you.
Spade, from letting it in an entire
I don't
country.
give a
or
shit. Let
taking
them come
over
in
an
here.
entire country.
Let them
You're
come.
so
You
skewed.
pay
Your
taxes,
vision
become a
is skewed.
citizen.
Okay, so you're saying that as long as they pay taxes, they can be here. That's it. That's all that you care
Yeah.
about. You
Renounce your other country,
Uh-huh.
become a U.S. citizen, and you pay your taxes and you become a model citizen. I'm all for it. Fuck it. I don't see what the issue is.
Okay.
Why are we afraid?
What about if they're criminals?
If they're criminals, you send them back, or you put them in prison. That's
But
what
fella-
criminals. That happens.
Oh, so now we should increase our population of prisons now, even though we're the most populated prison in the world. We should bring more.
Which
would increase
we are
taxes.
only overpopulated in prisons because it's for profit. If it wasn't for profit, people
There are
wouldn't be in
private
prison.
there are private prisons. Let's be clear, right? It's not all.
Not as many as almost all of them are private,
Okay, but
or most of them are.
But okay, but filling those up with illegal. Well, now, in your opinion, wait, who are we throwing in prison? The people that are paying taxes?
No, the criminals. Even if you
So
are
they come
paying
here.
taxes, if
We
you're
don't
still a
want
criminal-
them. They don't pass our background check, right?
Right.
'Cause we do background checks on them, right? Because you're
Right.
not saying just let them come in, right?
Right.
We do background
Obviously.
checks on these people. They
Yes.
fail. What do we do with them then?
Send them back.
Send them back to Mexico.
Yes.
Okay. And then the people that pass the background checks just come?
Yeah. Let them stay. Let them become U.S. citizens and pay their
Yep.
taxes.
Just pay taxes. That's all you got to do. Nothing else.
You have to be a model citizen, right? What is
No, I mean, that's
what
what
does
I'm
another
asking.
person?
What other stipulations are there for that person to become a citizen?
Well, what are the other stipulations that I have to do as a U.S. citizen? I
Nothing.
have to do jury duty, so you have to do jury
No,
duty.
you could just do nothing, right? Like you can literally live off of the government as an American. You don't have to work.
Okay.
You also don't
I don't
have to
agree
pay
with that, but
taxes.
yes.
Well, regardless whether you agree with it, I mean that's facts.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
essentially do nothing. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the people that come here, they get the background check. All you want them to do is pay taxes. What if they don't want to work?
Then you send them back.
Okay,
You
so you
can't,
want
if
them
they're
to
not
work.
working, you're not making taxes,
Okay,
right? You
all
can't pay the
so-
taxes if
yeah,
you're not
all right,
working.
Okay, so you want them to work, make money, and build up our labor force, and then pay taxes. Okay. Okay.
What's wrong with that? I don't see it being an issue.
Well, I don't think we should stop just at Mexico, but we still have to put a cap on that, right? There still has to be a cap. We just can't let everybody come in and come work. What about the kids? What about the women that don't want to work? They're going to support the husbands. Do we let them in too? Because there is a working visa. It is a little difficult for people.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for, let's say, Matthew to come here and come work in America. He could say he wants to do it all day. The visa categories are they need to be revisited and revamped, right? They're very difficult for him to come here and come work. He can't do that. Same thing for Mexico. A visa is a visa. right? Yeah, there's waivers, but you just can't come here. And that's a lot of paperwork. That's a lot of manpower. That means more jobs to do that. But where do you get that money from? Where does that money come from? Tariffs. That's where they come from.
And your taxes.
Yeah, but I don't want to pay taxes to get more people here, right? I don't even want to pay taxes for the federal government to pass
I totally
laws.
agree with you. I
Right.
totally agree.
But I don't have
with
a choice.
We all don't have a choice. We have to pay the taxes.
Spain, mass immigration is never good for the country that does the mass immigration.
That's why I said take over the country. That's why I said take over the country, and they could stay in their country.
You can't just go take over Mexico. Okay. I mean,
not?
You can. I don't think that's in our best interest. I don't think anybody think that's in our best interest except for you. To go take over Mexico? Why? For pineapples?
Why not?
I don't know.
They're already
What do you
coming
want from
here.
Mexico?
What do I want from Mexico?
Yes.
I want to be able to go to Tijuana without having to bring my U.S. passport.
Oh, so it's all about you.
You just asked me what I want, right?
Okay. No, and I'm getting it. So it's not about Americans or America or the taxpayer. It's about you.
No. But realistically, though,
Yeah.
you could gain from owning Mexico. If Mexico became part of the U.S., there is so much you can do.
And where we can't even police our own streets. How are we going to start policing Mexicans?
The same way we're doing it here.
If you make all the
we can do.
American citizens, you're gonna have to lift them up to the level of American citizens.
Oh, yes.
That's gonna cost you a lot of money. That's not feasible. I'm telling you.
No, we don't need to listen. You're wrong on that because we have how do I put it? Our unofficial 51st state does not live the same way that Americans in the continental United States live, right?
And you don't think that
the people in Puerto Rico are not the same as us here?
Medicaid, they get our Social Security. You don't think that they won't take advantage of that?
Oh,
but that's everyone. I could take advantage of it right now too if I wanted to. You could
citizen.
also.
We're now adopting. I don't know how many people in Mexico. 60 million. How many people live in Mexico?
And that
But
they're
if
all
we
going to
go
be
over
happy.
Mexico, we don't have to worry about housing them.
Oh, wow.
They already live there.
So I just want to be clear. They have 130 fucking million people. You just
That's
want
half of the U.S.
Okay, it's a little bit less than half, but you want us to just take in 130 million American citizens.
Yes.
And they're all
Take
going to
them in.
just.
You have their. If you're going to take over Mexico, you have their country also. So it's not like you're going to overpopulate the U.S. You just extended the U.S. and made it bigger.
Hey, 1 and 1 is still 2. Why do you think they're fleeing their country? Because it's that nice in Mexico, or what? You think it's that
very
great?
nice in
If
Mexico.
a country is very great,
Go
you don't
ask
want to
any
cross the
Mexican.
border
So nice
illegally
there.
into another country.
They don't make money over there. That's why they're coming here. So if we put jobs out there, they're going to stay there. What do you not understand?
No, what do you not understand? Really?
What about the Mexicans that don't want to be part of America? What about them?
Alaska?
They got no choice. We took over their country. We took over your country. You got no choice now.
So now we have people that don't want to be here that we're now forcing to be here.
Oh, nice.
Sure.
Oh, that sounds
Sure.
that
We
sounds
were
great.
Listen,
Like, okay,
we were
so like
uncomfortable with
prisoner,
the people.
basically. It's essentially a prisoner, right? Like they don't want to be in jail. But they're gonna force you in because you fucked up.
They can pull us 6th of January, and then Spain's gonna be okay with it.
At
because it has
128 million people, that's going to destroy the voting system. It's going to destroy democracy. That is going to destroy half the nation like that, bro. Like it's over. It's done. Like
Jesus.
I don't think Spain is thinking. But you know, hey, I don't want to take everything off the table. I kind of want to like put
It's
it on
not
a
a bad
burner.
idea.
Yes,
really
it is a
isn't.
terrible idea. It is.
No, it's not.
You don't have the manpower, one, to go take over Mexico, and then once you have it, you have people that
Keep
don't
it.
want to be in it. People don't even want to be in America. They won't leave, but they don't want to be here.
Exactly my point.
Well,
They're going to say, I don't want to be in the U.S., but I'm still in the U.S.
Okay, first off, that's different because those people were born into it. They can say they don't want to be here. If we go take over Mexico, they don't have a say in anything, right? Like they don't. It's not like they can go pick up a weapon and go fight America. You lost, so we now own you. So just bring back slavery, is what you're saying.
No. That's
you didn't say that. I stretched it too far. Okay.
If you're getting paid, it's not slavery. Hold on. If you're getting paid,
they're not
it's
getting
not slavery.
paid. They're just
if they're working, they're getting paid.
They don't want to work though. You have people that are in that 128 million that don't want to come to the States.
But they have no choice now. They have no choice. If
are you
take over the
fucking
whole
with me
country,
right now? Like, are you playing fun games?
I hope he is.
If they're not,
sincerely hope
you
he is.
can't listen. If you take over their country, you don't have to worry about anything. That's it. They could stay where they are. Nobody's forcing you to leave. Now you're going to say that you're part of the U.S. and not Mexican anymore.
Should we do this for Canada?
are trolling, right?
Yeah, are you fucking with me? Because in the beginning I knew you were serious, but now you've taken it next level. You
Take over
you want
the
to
whole
take over
world, bro.
Mexico?
Take over Mexico. Why not? I'm being serious about. Take
And
it
what
over.
about Canada? Take that over too?
If they want to join in, sure, no problem.
Why don't we just take over the whole strip from north to south?
I said take over the whole thing, and you guys are all looking at me.
no.
like
I'm
crazy.
saying take over from the top to the bottom, like
Yes,
north and south.
North and south.
Just
take
just
over
the
South.
whole thing is just America.
Yes,
Because we drink
America.
beer and shoot off fireworks. America.
Yes.
Wow.
Your-
I don't know
your
where
carton
you
of
are getting those
wheat is gonna
fucking
cost you
people
$100,
to storm.
bro.
I can tell you what, people from January 6th ain't gonna help capture all that shit. You know, you don't play enough games. You gotta play some capture the flag or something. Because I don't know where you're getting the people to go from North America to the bottom and capture that shit. That's gonna be a tough one. That's good. Put a lot of people out of jobs.
So.
Okay.
You want
I'm
to
gonna-
take
I'm
over
gonna start
Mexico
the
and
news
basically
debate.
enslave those
Take
people,
over
right?
the whole world.
That's why I said slavery, because there ain't no way you gonna.
No slavery. We saw how that went years ago. No.
Well, it didn't go bad. It just had bad repercussions. At the time, it went good.
Okay, at the time.
It
Okay,
worked.
and then look what happened. So if
Well,
we
that's
don't
what
do
I'm saying.
slavery,
Yeah, well, you
we're
learn
okay.
from the past, right? Learn from the past what we did wrong
That's
with
it.
the slaves. Let's keep the slaves, but give them something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, here's a bowl of soup. I get it. I don't think taking over South America and Central America and Mexico and Canada is in our best interest. That just kind of, Hitler did that. He tried taking over Europe. He was doing good until he started fucking around with a certain country. And they were like, no. What you are saying is we should do exactly what Hitler did, just in America. No. History says that won't work. So
I don't know,
lost.
man. History also showed that Alexander the Great took over half the world, and
Yeah.
he stopped because he died.
are you sure that's why he stopped?
He died. Wasn't it because he died? I'm pretty sure it was because he died.
Why-
If he
why
didn't
did he
die, then he would.
Why did he die? You mean he got killed, right?
Whatever. Well, he died, right?
Well,
Regardless
no, I
of
think
whether
there's a big difference, right? If you get prostate cancer versus somebody poisons you with cyanide, I think there's a little difference. Like if you just died, like, oh, I got tired, it's over. I don't even know what the fuck we're talking. I'm done. This is over.